You ever feel like you're fishing in the wrong place? Well, it's not a surprise that the waters we fish, most of the water that we fish, is empty. Bass, like other fish, are social creatures and they like to get in big groups or schools. Well, the old adage that 10% of the water holds 90% of the fish is something that I have seen a lot, and I wanted to really put it to the test. And I spent some time today trying to figure this out. I don't know about you, but I like proof. I like to see stuff, right? And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna go out on the lake today. I'm gonna take this underwater camera and I'm going to do some research. So I picked one particular area on this lake, one little pocket. It's not overly huge, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and film this entire shoreline all the way down one side, down the other, film the center, the deepest part of this particular little cove, and I am going to figure out what these bass are wanting to hang on today, right now. Now, the title of this video talks about fishing in the wrong place, right? So I want to clarify what I mean by that. Every body of water, whether it's a lake, a river, farm, pond, doesn't matter, has a primary type of cover or structure. Structure being lake or riverbed, cover being anything that is on that structure. This particular lake, by far and away, the dominant form of cover is wood, specifically overhanging brush, and a lot of this brush has broken off and fallen down into the water. So there's all kinds of wood down on the bottom on the shoreline and then overhanging as well. The big massive weed beds that are normally on this lake have not really taken hold yet, so it's wood. That's the primary thing. So I started to go down this shoreline and I found a few fish right away kind of hanging out in the little deeper section that were just cruising over some of these shallow weeds, like this little guy here, and it looks like he ran into a toothy fish. He's beat up pretty good, and you know, maybe something like this northern got a hold of this one. So after I ran across this one, I kept on going down this shoreline, and right where a textbook spot would be, like the bass took our playbook and they read it and were exactly where they should be, I found a couple of bass hanging out in the wood on this corner. Okay, now you would think that there would have been a whole lot more, but it was just these two that I could find. So I kept on going down. I even ran across a whole bunch of old tires that people had put down there. Wasn't a single fish on there, not even a panfish, and probably it had a lot to do with one, it was in super shallow water and then just surrounded by silt and mud. It just didn't look like a great place to hang out, and there was no fish there. Then I continued down the other side of the shoreline. Nothing, few bluegills here and there. And then I ran across something different, right? We always talk about something different, and not only was there something different, I had 3 different types of cover that all converged in one area. I had a dock, I had a bunch of rock that was at the end of a boat ramp that the association had put in there to try to stop prop wash from digging a hole, and then I also had some short weeds, some short vegetation. 3 different types of cover that was not wood. It was something different, and almost immediately I started to see bass, and a ton of them. I don't even know how many were here, but no matter what direction I turned the camera, no matter where I went, there were just bass running in front of the camera all over the place. Now, I did not find that great big goggle-eyed, bulging belly, hunched back, huge female bass. Didn't find that fish. Has to be there somewhere, I would sure think, and I'll have to do some more research next time that I go out there. But another interesting thing is where this vegetation stopped when it just went into the mud bottom, boom, instantly the bass stopped. They were not there. They were under that dock, on those rocks, or hanging out right above the top of that short vegetation. And like I said, once in a while I pick up a bass on the wood here and there, but just not congregated in numbers. So I was pretty satisfied that the proof is in the pudding here. So, you know, we talk about find something different than your primary cover, than your primary structure, and this definitely proved the case when I was out there doing my filming today. And this goes right along with I run across up in the Boundary Waters area all the time when I fish a bunch of those lakes, whether it's from a canoe or whether it's from a boat. The primary structure up there is rock. It's just rock everywhere, and every time I go up there, I just catch a lot of smallmouth off of wood, flipping and pitching the wood just like you would for largemouth. I know, it's crazy, right? We associate smallmouth and rock, and yeah, we catch some in some traditional rocky places, but boy, I'm telling you, just the wood. But the wood is not the primary form of cover up there, or in this case, structure in the form of rock. So what have you got on your lake? What have you got on your river? What have you got on your pond? Find something different, and I think you're going to really find where the bass are stacked up. And as a matter of fact, if you want to watch a video on maybe doubling or tripling your catch rate, go ahead and watch this one right here. And don't forget to go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.